Oh my goodness. Well, I am super excited and so stoked about this evening's call. Uh, excuse me. So it's we might have a little clowning going on tonight. This is a reunion.
This
Yes,
is
Okay,
it
this
is.
is a reunion.
just
Um,
a water fountain.
yeah. What? No, no, no. But we need to take it back before then, right? So, and I don't know whether to say this in a shameful or unshameful way, but let me just explain. So, of course, this is the Understanding a Man podcast, and want to thank everybody who is just joining us this evening, this morning, this afternoon, wherever you are in this world, listening in. And so, I'm excited today. Okay, because I have not only persons that have like been riding with me from day one, but like we're also going to have some candid conversation on an amazing conference that's coming up very soon, the Boundary Summit, and so we're going to talk about it in just a moment. But if I went back to see y'all, some of the people listening, y'all might not know me in my infancy stages. So about 5 years ago. Okay, it's about 4, 5 years ago. Right. I was just getting started, just released my first book, Understanding a Man. Wait, that one right there. So I released that book over there, right? And so I was obviously getting out there, showing the book or whatever. So my amazing, I can call her a lifelong friend because we're talking about 20 plus years or whatever. That Miss Joy Stokes, who's here, she was so popular around Atlanta that she had multiple vending sites going on. And so she called me and she said, "Hey Elam, listen, I got this vending opportunity here, but I got to be over here. And so if you go to this one and just like, I'm going to have a joysticks and then you do your Understanding a Man." And I'm like, "Okay, right?" So I'm like super hyped, like, "Oh my God, I got a vending booth." Ladies and gentlemen, it sparked it sparked two amazing relationships. One that's on the phone right now, one that's not. But it was at Greenbrier Mall. Okay. And so Greenbrier Mall, Atlanta. Yeah, I know Greenbrier Mall. So I'm in there. I'm vending. I'm doing my thing. This is like maybe an hour or two in, and this amazing individual walks up to me, and we just started talking. And like, oh. Okay, there you go. And so, like 30 minutes later, we're still talking and exchanging numbers, and here we are today, just still having amazing conversation over and over and over again. Uh, she was an individual that helped me walk into the coaching space and understand some parameters around that, and I'll allow her to give her credentials in that space as well. But so I met Pamela Byrd, and I also met April Mason as well that weekend as well. So those of you know her. So I am going to introduce somebody who I just absolutely love, love, love her. And she's just out here shaking and moving, doing her thing. Has to tell us about this dope summit that's gonna come up. And so she's gonna come on board. And then I got just the homie, just the homie. There's no other way to put it. Just the homie, inside and out. I mean, from the ignorant days of kicking it in Atlanta to to just yeah, we to just today, just also rocking and rolling. Two authors that are on the line, and my heart is kind of like big right now, so I gotta kind of calm it down. So let me bring on board my first guest, Miss Pamela Byrd. Okay, Pamela Byrd, if you could just come on board, it's kind of like this is a nostalgic moment as we're talking this evening. If you could just give people your 411, where you're from, what you're doing, and all that good stuff, and then we're gonna kind of go forward from there.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you, Elam. And I'm so glad that Joy could be here, your road dog.
Right,
Joy
that's
could
the
be here.
homie.
But I will tell you, My name is Pamela Byrd, and I'm a boundaries coach. And I'll tell you a little bit about that in a minute. But I just want to reminisce. I want to go back to that day that I met Elam. And I was at the Greenbrier Mall doing a video of just because I think it was a Black History a celebration tribute.
Yep.
I was doing a Facebook Live, I remember, and
Mhm.
just looking at the beautiful people that were there, the beautiful vendor booths and everything. And I think I brought the camera over to you, yeah, and start asking you some questions.
Right.
And it was the first time I had met you, and I just came and introduced myself. And after we finished that interview, I saw Joystick. And or maybe that's what brought me over there. And I was like, Joy, you know Joy? You don't know Joy. And it was just from there, I just knew that we had a good connection. And, the conversation that you and I had, Elam, was so deep because just the whole thing you had up about understanding a man and that whole thing was just beautiful. And it was attracting. And so we had this conversation. We were talking so long that my husband came over and like, what are you talking about? Who are you talking to?
Right.
They got into a conversation, and I think it even went longer than that after that because when that testosterone gets together, it goes crazy. So
Right.
I just wanted to say again, thank you, Elam. And Joy has always been special to me. Joy, we've known each other not as long as you and Elam, but we've known each other. And from the moment I saw you with that platinum blonde hair,
Not the platinum.
not you. She was sat in front of me, and I said she was in a seat in front of me at a meeting, and I said to her, I didn't even know her. I just kind of tapped her on the shoulder. She turned around and said, "Girl, your hair is so nice." And she's like, "Oh, thank you." And we start talking.
She did it just like that too. She did that. She did that.
I got her down pat, don't I?
Uh, that's so funny.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm just glad to be in the company of the two of you. I'm honored and blessed to be in your in relationship with you guys as friends. I'm a life coach, but I'm particularly focused on helping women to set healthy boundaries in
Right.
all areas of life because that's why I became a boundaries coach because I saw that there was a deficiency in the number of people, not just women but men as well, that were able to set healthy boundaries. They didn't know what it was. How do I know what's healthy? How do I know what's not healthy? And their behaviors are based on the boundaries they set in their lives. And so
Right.
that's how I came about. I've been practicing my as a coach for the past 15 years,
Okay.
and over those years realized the significance of helping people to set healthy boundaries, and so began to really hone in on that over the last 10 years, and
Okay.
it's just elevating every year.
So, and you have a book that you recently released, right,
I
Pam?
do. I do. It's called
Talk to us real quick about that book.
okay. The book is called "I Had a Twin: Disrupting the Cycle of Childhood Trauma."
Okay.
What happened was last year I had a twin sister. That's why it's called I Had a Twin. my
Okay.
twin my twin sister passed away. She committed suicide,
Okay.
and it was at that point I knew that there was something that I needed to do.
Okay.
I started to do some research. I did acquire all of my sister's journals and her recorded therapy sessions. Now these were
Okay.
therapy sessions that she recorded, not anything that was approved by the Federal Drug Administration or anything like that.
Okay.
But I was able to glean so much information that by the time I finished and wrote the book within that last year or this year, I
Hmm.
had a peace. I knew exactly why she had done what she had done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so did it, is that what led to, the summit that you have going on right now? Because before we bring on one of the amazing speakers that you have for the summit, you know, you got something big coming up in October, and people need to know about it. So talk to us about, what's that book went from there to where we are here with the summit. Talk to us.
All right. One of the things I started a couple years ago was a group on Facebook. It's called Let's Talk Boundaries.
Okay.
Now, the reason I started this group, it's a private group. The reason I started it because I wanted to give people an opportunity to vent and to share and to ask questions about different situations that they're in that they weren't sure how to handle as it relates to setting healthy boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people set healthy boundaries, set unhealthy boundaries. So they didn't really understand. So I started this group and it started out pretty well. But then when my sister passed, and doing the research, what I realized was a lot of the people that were coming to my group, that were members of the group, were not able to set the right boundaries because they
Okay.
had not dealt with their childhood traumas.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the behaviors, a lot of the comments, a lot of the outcomes that they're getting are the result of not having dealt with the childhood traumas that they experienced.
Okay.
So when I started to put all of that together, I thought, what's the best way to help people to set boundaries? Because somebody can tell you, oh, you need to set boundaries. You need to tell her this. You need to tell her that. You need to not go there. You need to not go there. No, you can tell somebody to do something all you want, but if they don't have it within them to have the courage to even go back to figure out why they can't get people to honor their boundaries or even to
Mm.
set them, then
Mm.
they're never going to be able to get to the point where they do what somebody else suggests that they do.
Oh, can we just hit the pause button just for 1 second? Because that setting boundaries thing is so important, and it's just something that it sounds simple,
Yeah,
but it's a process. Would you agree?
such a process.
And if we're looking at, well, if we're looking at just the boundaries overall, if you were to say inside of your coaching space, all
Mhm.
right, if you want to give the if you wanted to give the 1 minute, because I want to kind of move forward on a couple other items, because I know you're busy, so I want to, if you can give us a 1 minute understanding of how do I set a boundary, how do I do that, because what does that look like?
Okay. Well, in order to set a boundary, you first have to know your value.
Okay. Ooh.
You have to know what you bring to the table.
That
Mhm.
value word. Oh Lord. Go ahead.
But many people are unaware of their value, and a lot of that stems from their childhood because they didn't feel valued.
Mm,
They didn't even feel wanted.
mm.
So a lot of them in so many areas were abandoned that
Okay.
now they're carrying that on with them in their adult lives, and
Okay.
they're creating what I call in the book residual. They're getting residual effects
Mm-hmm.
from the trauma that they didn't deal with. So
Mm.
now that residual effect is causing behavior that's unhealthy, it's dysfunctional, it's toxic, and
Ooh,
it's preventing them from doing
using big words. Using
what.
big words now. Those are big words.
You know what? I got them in the book, and I even got to spell it out.
Hey, but you know what though, man? Here's the thing. So, Miss Pamela Byrd, you have also different speakers that are going to be coming on board
Mm,
and talking about different topics. So, I would like to ask you to just maybe run down a couple of the topics and then introduce our additional guest that we have here, who's going to be talking about a topic as well.
okay.
So, if you could just run down a couple of topics that you're going to be talking about at the summit, or that your speakers will, and then if you could bring Joy on board to kind of talk about a couple of things. So
I'll do that. I'll do that. I'll be happy to do that. Now, I will tell you within my Facebook group, the private group, Let's Talk Boundaries, I did a poll to see what type of information people would like to hear.
right.
And what are some of the challenges that they're having? And you know what? It's interesting because these topics were such as how to not feel guilty when you say no to someone, how
Mm.
to,
Ooh,
how
let me write
to,
that down. Oh Lord, I didn't even know that one. Oh.
oh yeah, how to make sure, they were concerned that people won't like them.
Mm.
They're concerned about their boundaries would be too rigid, just, afraid of what the outcome was going to be once they did set the boundary. What if
Mm.
somebody doesn't like me anymore? What if they don't honor it? What do I do then? So what we did was I have a co-host and her name is Jennifer Lampkins and she's out of
Mm.
Wisconsin and
Mm.
she's a spiritual coach. We got together and started talking about what type of speakers and what type of topics we wanted to talk about.
Okay.
And it's interesting, look how God works, because each of the individuals that I asked, they came with a powerful, powerful topic based on
Okay.
their own experiences, based on their struggles, based on their
Okay.
victories, how they've come from one place to another one. I mean,
Right.
just serious transformation.
Hmm.
And each of these individuals are going to be talking about the one key area which was once a weakness that has become a strength.
Mm.
So they're going to be sharing with each of the members or each of the listeners, the participants in the summit, how they did it, what their story was, and they're going to come up with some tips for everyone on, how to handle this, how to handle that. So we're looking at, marriage, in a marriage. How about in a divorce?
Okay.
Picking up the pieces after divorce. There
Ooh.
is life after divorce, and how do you
Right.
manage that? We're
Okay.
talking about, here, having your voice and having your
Okay.
voice heard,
Okay.
and then the beauty of knowing, Noing, the beauty of saying no. How do you do that?
Okay.
How do you figure out how to say no? Like that question you asked me in the beginning. So you'll learn how to do that. And
Mm.
then, we've got 11 speakers,
Okay.
11 speakers that are going to be
That's ooh.
sharing their hearts out with
I,
us.
can I just say 11 speakers? I'm the only man. Okay. All right. So keep going. All right. So go
Yeah,
ahead. Go ahead.
I was about to break that news, but there are 11 speakers. Again, this is a summit. It's geared towards women, but it's not exclusively for women. So if you know
Good.
men who would like to hear about setting boundaries, to
Right.
learn how to set it with people in their lives,
Right.
or how to get that value
Mhm.
instilled in them, then this who this summit is for. Now, of the 11 speakers, there are two that are right here, right now. And one of them, of course, is Elam. Elam is going to be speaking on a powerful topic as far as dating and wisdom.
Ooh, that value word. Let's just remember that word value, y'all. We're gonna come back to. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. See, I can't get him rolling. Rolling. And then we have Joy. Joy is going to be talking about you can have it all. You can have it all. And I'm not going to steal her thunder if she wants to give you a preview of that. But if anybody can talk about that, and the reason I thought about Joy is because Joy is such a phenomenal businesswoman
That's
and
right.
family woman, and she is doing so much. And if anyone ever wonders why they make excuses about something that they can't do, they can't be where they want to be, y'all just need to look at a picture of Joy.
That's my dog.
Yes, look at a picture of Joy. So Joy, I'm gonna give it over to you.
Yeah. What up, Joy?
Okay. What's going on, Elo? Hey, Pam. How are you? I
What
am
up? What up? What
so
up?
excited that, everything happened the way that it happened today. Obviously, when Sila woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning, I was like, what in the world? But it's perfect because she's sweet. And I can get up here and we can talk about the Boundary Summit and we can joke around. About how, not just have I known Elam since he's grown his business, but I've known Elam since college. So like he didn't even
Right. Right.
mention
Right.
half the,
Yeah. We knee
and
high to a June
and
bug. You know what I'm saying?
and MCI, we're not gonna talk
Right.
about MCI, but
Right.
when he was getting his sales on. But I just want to say thank you, Elam, for allowing me the opportunity to come onto your Understanding the Man platform and share a little bit about me. Thank you, Pam, for allowing me the opportunity to be a part of your Boundary Summit. I definitely am excited to work with both of you guys again. And I just love how God works because when I asked Elam to come and do the vending booth with me afterwards, he was like, so I met this woman named Pam, and then I met this. I mean, when I tell you, he was so excited about being there. And I think it's one of the things
At
that was
Greenbrier. I'm sorry.
at
It was
Greenbrier.
at
Because
Greenbrier.
first he was like, where, Joy? And I was like, I mean, you'll be all right. You be all right. We
Is that like
celebrate
so what will
African
happen
American,
was
Right.
heritage. You'll be perfectly fine, Elam. And he was taken care of. He
good.
met some awesome people, and and that was years ago. And I think it's
Right.
awesome pretty cool because every time I reach out to Elam about wanting to work together, when it comes to vending, he's like, "Let's do it,"
Yeah.
you know. And I kind of feel like I pull him into a space that I know that he does really really great at.
Right.
Um, just doesn't do it as often. And obviously, with the pandemic, you know, things have changed with, you know, just putting yourself out there. But, you know, I just want to say I'm proud of both of you guys and I'm excited to be a part of the summit and I'm excited to be here. I am going to be talking about how you can have it all because I do believe that you can. I just believe that you have to have a vision of what that looks like for you
Come on.
because
Come on.
if you were to go by society standards, you know, having getting married at 40 and having a baby at 42, I was like, you know,
Right.
out of whack and out of reach with everything, you know, and there are a lot of
Right.
women that are still single that are still questioning, am I going to ever get married? Will I ever have children?